Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us today for this special COVID-19 edition of our Facebook Live here at Alan Ram's Practice Training Solutions. We're so glad you're able to join us today. Make sure to share this with your folks in the industry. Today, we wanted to give you some actionable items and a game plan for you, for your dealership during this crazy time. Just like you, I've watched and listened to several podcasts, webinars, live interviews. We're all trying to make sense of things right now. We know that we need to fight through this crisis, and there's no doubt about that. But this situation is evolving pretty rapidly. We too are keeping our finger on the pulse of things to make sure that we give you what you need to be able to pivot and meet the changing needs of your customers during this time. You know, I've reached out to several dealerships over the last 2-3 weeks. Our whole team has. And, you know, there's one thing that I've noticed that the vast majority of us are missing. And I'll get into that in a minute. But first, I want to put things into perspective. I think this is quite important. We are faced with obviously a multifaceted problem here. The first of which is the health of our nation and frankly, the world. We're, at war with this enemy that we have little to no protection against. And we're fortunate, so fortunate to have brave men and women fighting for our lives. So I would be remiss if we did not take a moment to thank those on the front lines in our medical communities, in our supermarkets, in our supply chains, as well as the researchers who are also working tirelessly in the medical fields to find a solution for this pandemic. We need to find the gratitude for our health and for the health of our families. So join us and grieve for those who have been less fortunate than us. Another facet of this issue is the economic impact of this crisis. While we've all expected a somewhat economic downturn in 2020, nobody could foresee this. And it's going to be bad. I don't think anybody can deny that. While dealerships across the country have either shut down or are fighting to stay open with a skeleton crew, we as a collective in the industry are fighting for our health. And now with this extra burden of worrying how to provide for our families. We've also heard about how this pandemic will change the way that we live. And that is so true, at least for the short term. Even as we slow this curve and get back to a new normal, people will be reluctant to get out in public. And not only that, their incomes will be threatened, and they may or may not have the means to buy a car, that car that they were planning on buying pre-corona. Your dealership's road to the digital sale has never been more critical, and the ability to work with your clients remotely over the phone and online from A to Z is now going to be tested more than ever. So make sure to keep that in mind. Bottom line is that the steps you take today will determine your success when this does normalize. How you communicate with your customers today will pay dividends in the long run. And in time, you will bring those shoppers back to you, whether it's online or over the phone, if you treat them well during this time. So let's dive into the first step that you need to take to set yourself up for success, okay? So now, again, we have reached out to several dealerships, and the one thing that I've noticed that almost all of us are missing is proper messaging. Now, we're pretty big on knowing what to say to customers, but right now, your customers are especially impressionable. And so how you communicate now is so critical. The first step is to communicate with your shoppers and let them know the status of your business, whether you're open, partially open, or closed, okay? Or maybe you've had to adjust your hours. Most of the dealerships that I called, the phone just rang and rang and rang, or went into someone's voicemail. It wasn't always the main voicemail. Sometimes with no greeting at all. So what's worse is that when this would happen, I'd go and I'd check that dealership's website and still lots did not update their hours online. There was no messaging there. So the first step you need to do is to update your voicemail greeting at the dealership. I know we forget about this. I haven't checked my own greeting on my cell phone forever. And this might change by the week, and that's okay. For our clients, we actually have a voicemail script in the file vault of your Adapt VT training platform. So make sure to look at that, to log in and type that out, and make sure to get that to the person who needs to make that update. The next thing that you need to do is update your website. This is where everyone is looking. Now, there's a dealership group up in Canada we work very closely with, and I just want to show you this. Look, I logged on to them, Strickland's in near Ontario, Canada. They've got it right on the front. Now, this is so important because many potential shoppers will check here for your COVID hours. So make sure that you have it prominently displayed and that you're directing them on how they can contact you during this crisis, okay? The third and the most important thing will be what your team is saying to your prospects. How much time do I have? Okay, I think I'm good. Your messaging is critical and it needs to be centered around building relationships and trust, not making the sale today, okay? Therefore, the first call post-corona should just be to reach out, to check in, to see how they're doing. And if they need anything from you, you can let them know their options. Should they need to purchase a car or return a lease or something like that, or have service done. But you do not want to be aggressive. Now is not the time for aggressive tactics. If they do need assistance, absolutely inform them of your OEM specials, deferred payments, low interest loans, etc. But your goal should be to see how they are doing. Okay, they will remember how you make them feel more than anything. And you should prioritize calling your customers who are coming off of a lease or any unsold deals prior to Corona. And again, it's okay if they do not buy now, but they will down the line. Now for our clients, again, we've included the scripts for all of this and templates where you can you can just go into your Adapt VT file vault. This is a library of all of our tools and resources. But don't worry, if you're not a client, we're offering a free 30-day subscription, no activation, no payments. I would take advantage of that right now, and you'll have those tools for yourself. Listen, this is an unprecedented time in history, and we will get through this. Many of us are hurting, including our friends in the car business, but this industry is behind you, offering support as lenders, manufacturers are offering these low interest rates and incentives to get people in. No matter what, you offer a product and a service that is essential to the people of this country. And by taking the right steps now, you'll be better positioned to regain your footing in the marketplace. So, to recap, again, these are the 3 items, the 3 action steps. As soon as you finish watching this, you should get to this. Number 1, update your dealership's greeting. Number 2, your dealership website. And number 3, know what to say to your customers. Remember, they will remember how you made them feel right now. Our team here at Allen Ram is behind you every step of the way. We've just added brand new chapters to our digital reality course, which is essential right now. It's some awesome stuff. If you're not a client, we're offering, again, a complimentary 30-day subscription for any dealership. No activation to start. I would absolutely either comment or there should be a link down here to make sure that you take advantage of that. I'd also love to hear what you guys are doing. If any one of you have special strategies you've put into place, make sure to comment below and share it. We're all here for each other right now during this crisis. From your friends at Alan Ram, we appreciate you and we thank you for allowing us to be part of your current and future success. Stay home, stay safe, and stay healthy. Until next time.